Hi, Facebook. Can't believe we're less than 2 weeks away from the election, which is kind of shocking. But I hope you all, first of all, have a plan to vote. I have a couple of questions that I got this week that I wanted to cover, but I also just wanted to do one sort of public service announcement, or I don't know what. In lieu of all the pipe bombs that are being discovered now, there's a lot of conversation about various federal law enforcement agencies which are investigating this, and they're doing a fantastic job. But I wanted to take a moment to just talk a little bit about one agency that I worked a lot with when I was a prosecutor. This is my Postal Inspection Service hat that they gave me when I did a few jobs with them. First of all, it was the Postal Inspection Service that I did I prosecuted some elder fraud cases that were really meaningful to me, and they just did a fantastic job. And they have incredible tools in the Postal Inspection Service to detect mail, the origin of mail, and I just want to call them out for the great job that they're doing, because they often get buried because people don't understand that the Postal Inspection Service is a fantastic law enforcement arm. So the two big questions I wanted to do today, one is probably the biggest of them all, which is how to create and bring jobs to the Northwest corner. And that question has many aspects. The answer to that question has many aspects to it, in part because business in Northwest Connecticut is small business, which means it's not one size fits all. And if you're going to craft solutions that help small businesses thrive in our neck of the woods, you have to be in constant communication with them and talking to them about their needs, what's happening in their businesses. Do they need more employees? Do they need to be freer from duplicative regulation? What's actually happening? And that conversation is really important. And I've been having a lot of those conversations as I knock on doors. And one of the stories that I've heard repeatedly, which I've talked about, is the missed connections. I had a small business owner who was looking to hire draftsmen and couldn't find any, and went to a presentation at a local high school at Houstonic and told them about the positions he was looking to hire for, what the qualifications were, how they could get them, what the pay was, and the kids' eyes opened up. That connection had never been made for them before. And I think that's not just the skills involved in the job, but the human connection between, a guy who's actually out there wanting to hire local kids. And I think we need to do better for that. Often these kinds of connections run through our community college, Northwestern Connecticut Community College in Winsted. It also runs through our technical schools and VOAG and Oliver Wolcott, and lots of opportunities there that we need to use to be good conduits between our kids who are graduating from our schools and local businesses who are looking to hire people who are committed to staying in the area, because those are good employees, people who want to be here. Another aspect that of the economy that I speak about wanting to invest in is digital infrastructure. And that also has a lot of aspects. I got a sort of sub-question recently. Well, digital infrastructure, that's great for high-tech startups, but what does it do for everyone else? And actually, improved digital infrastructure can have an impact on a lot of industries, not just high-tech startups, which of course would be great to have more high-tech startups. But for example, it's has a big impact on the healthcare industry, which is a large employer around here. We have, for example, a lot of seniors in our community, and we have a lot of organizations which are dedicated to the care of seniors. And if we could improve telemedicine, for example, and enable those centers and organizations and employers to have access to specialists who might never be available in the Northwest corner, that really improves the quality of care. And we have an opportunity here, I think, to be a leader in elder care. And I think digital infrastructure would help us do that. Digital infrastructure also has impact on things like job training, which affects the economy, and all students. There's incredible data talking about how the kids that have access to good internet just have so many more opportunities than the kids who are being left out of that divide. And then that's a lot of rural kids who do not have regular access to the internet. Another area that I want to focus on is our farms. We have a lot, the agriculture is an important industry throughout the state, but certainly in Northwest Connecticut for a whole host of reasons. And if you talk to those farmers, the level of innovation going on there is just stunning. I had one conversation with a local farmer and asked him sort of, well, what are your sources for all these ideas that, these new ideas are coming up? And he looked at me and he said, necessity. Dairy farmers in particular are caught in they're almost guaranteed to lose because of government constraints on their market. Every hundredweight of milk they lose money on. And so because they're committed to their way of life and their land and their family who wants to keep farming, they find ways to make it work. They diversify into other industries. A local farm here is selling cow pots made from manure, which not only creates a whole other industry for them to profit off of, hopefully that's a global industry, but it also enables them to deal with environmental problems that they have to move the manure, repurpose it so that it just doesn't cause environmental problems. So they are really impressive. If we listen to them and we understand what their needs are and what their challenges are, we can do better there. One other thing I want to touch on jobs is affordable housing, as I just started to say. I talk to a lot of young people who, in fact, have jobs they love and who want to stay in the area and cannot find a place to live. We have to find a way to get them started in the area so that they can see a path forward to staying here and raising family. And again, affordable housing doesn't mean just one thing. It can mean more rental units. It can mean units that are available to graduated levels of income. It can mean more senior housing so that seniors who are living in large houses who want to stay in town but want to get out of all the obligations and that go with living in a large house can move to a smaller unit and free up housing for other people. So that's also an important part of it. And the last thing I just wanted to touch on in this question is advocacy. Again, going back, we have to be in conversation with our local businesses and understand what they need, and then we have to advocate for them. I had a local Chamber of Commerce member pass along to me this fancy schmancy brochure, which is called Doing Business in Connecticut 2018, 5th edition, lots of flashy pictures on the cover. I have yet to find a single business in here that's based in the Northwest corner. That's appalling. There is business happening here, as I'm sure you can all attest, of all kinds, and we need to do a better job supporting it. So the second really important question that I was asked today is, are you going to get dressed up for Halloween? The answer is yes, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be. You're going to have to come and tune in. So thanks for tuning in to this today, and have a great day. See you next week for the last pre-election Facebook Live on Thursdays. Thanks. Bye, Facebook.